Everybody, welcome back to Techtonica, episode 10 with me, Sid. And last episode we made, well, this. We did a little bit of exploring, we did some things, but the primary entry was this. This is a biofuel factory. It is self-sustaining and it makes a lot of biofuel. And it goes in there. Yeah, we've got a goodly amount. I'm actually now pulling this out, and what I have done is I've taken all of the power from underneath, and I'm just to try and make this a little bit cleaner. It's still not clean, but what we've done is we brought the conveyors down, and we're taking that into the furnaces up top. In theory, we want to take the biofuel out to these guys as well, but you know, cross that bridge when we come to it. So what did I do with the with the water wheels? Well, they are over here. I have a huge let's just go over there, walk there. I've got a water wheel factory on the waterfalls. We've got a couple there, a couple more. So these generate 100 newtons, I think it's newtons of torque. This one, which is the Mark II generators we found, uses 125. So I put 3 of those in, and that gave me 2 of those uses 250. That's 100 each, so 250 leaves 50. These ones actually only use 40, so those 3 water wheels are powering these, and these generate a huge amount of power, those not so much. In the case of this one, I've got 500 torque there, and I've got 3 over this side and a whole load over here. I've also put 2 down underneath, and we've got 5 on that. And then I've kind of constructed this walkway to get up, because we went up the waterfall. There's another layer of this on that one, but more importantly, there are 2 of these powering 5 each. So a lot of power. Well, in theory. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head back over to the power plant section and check what that is actually giving me. I did check earlier, but I've forgotten already. So that was the thing. We'll come to this in a moment. I do need to put more capacitors in, but this is 260 watts, and we're generating 10,000 kilowatts of power. We're using in the region of maybe just shy of 3,000 at peak. So good for power. This is just a small kindle vine farm, which is generating the raw materials of plant matter fiber and kindle vine extract, because we use that for some other recipes. So I've just set that running there, and the only other thing I have done is over in the old area, I set a limestone quarry running, because again I need limestone, so it's not piped or brought over or anything. It just is running into a container and doing its thing. Now the reason I need all of this is we need this to make the blue research sphere thingy bobbitzers. Now the limestone was up there, up in that section. So yeah, I mean it's not ideal that it's over here, but you know, these things have their fuel and they're generating large quantities of limestone, and it's, you know, that's fine. The reason we want that, as I say, is because we need that. So we need the fiber, we need the coolant stuff, we need metal minerals. Now we could, and we will get into having a storage system where most of the components are automatically crafted and stored. Possibly not this episode, but I need to find more Atlantium because I have 116 Atlantium ore, and we need to upgrade the next point on the hoofer. We need 1400 Atlantium ingots, and I have got no idea where the Atlantium is. So there is a piece of research which I shall, let me just come over this way, which will help with that in theory. So let me go and, well, let me grab a couple of stacks of copper, couple of stacks of that. What else did I need for those? Sure, I didn't need the, yeah, okay, just the we'll just go with that for now. And then we needed the blue gunk, which I haven't got a farm running for, but I did generate a lot of that previously, so hopefully we'll have enough. Let me have a look. Well, we've got a reasonable amount of that in here already, and we should now be able to make, oh, a whole 4. What's my limiting factor? Probably iron, because I only picked up, we need 256, I only picked, yeah. So iron is my limiting factor, but that's fine. We'll do the first 4. Now, how many do I need? That's the other question. So there's a whole load of stuff we're going to need. These for speed, we need to get up to the Mark II. I don't know, is increases all ore collection speed, blah blah blah. So that's all good, but not necessary. Crafting speed would be useful. Logistics, we've got the pack size, monorail system we need to do, that's 100. So we are going to need to automate all of this ultimately. The rail runner's not any use until we have a monorail. Energy is accumulators, accumulation 2, that increases those, and yeah, just basically a whole load of uplifts. Monorail spike trim, okay, does a thing. And the one I think we need to do first is this one, the Omni Seeker. This detects resources, so I assume it's some kind of ore detector to track things down. I don't know for definite, but it sounds like something that does that. So realistically, I need to make a whole bunch of those orbs, and 256 iron a piece, and this is, you know, that, oh, now we're down to 5. What's my limit now? Probably copper then. Yeah, that would seem to be the thing. Now copper I'm actually not short of, so we can have another 6 of those, and 1. And that's going to take a while. Let me just, I'm going to pop most of these away for now. We'll see how many that gets me, and we'll continue on. But this is a lot of grind now. It is really grindy. And I'm not entirely sure how desperate I am to see the end game of the plot, because I really am getting the impression that there is no threat in this game. This is all about grind, puzzling through the making of the auto things. I did make myself a new one of these bad boys, which will go there, and that will be where we'll just stick our blue power core, the blue research cores, other than the ones we've got. But I think we're going to need a fairly big factory to run all of that, because we're making all sorts of wonderful things, and so far I actually haven't made one. So yeah, this is going to take a while, and I'm not sure how many hours I am prepared to invest in this, because I could leave it running and do the AFK. I wouldn't need to bring the fuel out or to the miners, but ultimately this is the kind of that trade-off thing where we talk about the cost of power versus time, and if the only thing necessary for me to be able to do this is either massively over-engineer something or set this up in such a way that these are fueled and constantly running, and then just leave my PC running for a week, that is not a game to me. For one, my PC costs money and energy to run for a week, and so effectively what I'm doing is paying for the PC to run for a week, which again seems to me to be not the feature of a game. If that makes any kind of sense. It makes sense to me, but but we just need to feed this with these cores for now, so there you go. Have one. Wow. I've now got 2. I need 35. So I'm going to continue this for a little bit longer, but I'm not entirely sure how much I am going to enjoy the grind as we get further and further into this. But let's see what we're like with the Atlantium and stuff like that, because this is a significant time input if I'm actually having to spend hours and hours and hours grinding, and hours and hours and hours. It's I'm not sure. We'll see how we go, and I'll be back in what for you will be very little time, but for me will be, well, sometime. I've got those. I don't. Oh, I thought I got a load of those, haven't I? Let me just see if we can't speed. Thought I had a crap ton of those frames. Yeah, I do. Okay. So I should, in theory, be able to cancel that and go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will hopefully give me a little bit more speed on that lot. Not a lot, but it just means I will not be crafting those plant fibre frames. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I made, well, a bunch. There's not enough here. That is 17, I think. With what I've got, it'll be probably around about 20. And it has taken ages. I have made a whole load of coolant. I did set up these machines here to make most of the components, so they've been doing that, but it occurs to me that I think I need to automate all of the things if I am going to be able to push this forward, and I am going to need to do a number of devices. So we are going to set up one, let's give a gap 2 and 3 of those on this side, and then we're going to have, let's get this right, 1, 2. We're waiting for another assembler, so that's doing its thing. Now this one here is going to make copper frames. This one here is going to make copper components. This one here is going to make copper wire. Why is this not powered? Did I break? Oh, I might have. Interesting. I don't know why that isn't powered, but it certainly should be. Okay, so that's that, and we are going to grab those. I'll put this last one in here. So that's the first 6 items, and this one is going to come as a conveyor belt all the way down here. This one is going to come as a conveyor belt all the way down here, and the first thing we're going to do, well, apart from get myself some more of these ultimately, but let me get one of those, so that can start putting copper in there, and that can start making copper frames. What else have we got in the queue? Not a huge amount, but I'm not sure whether any of these are in there. Let me just stick 5 more for now. And then we're going to need containers and all other good kind of things. But oh, that one's actually trying to make the purple cores. Okay, that's fine. Right, I shall go and borrow from Peter to pay Paul. So yeah, I think there is definitely going to be an AFKing thing going on here, but what we're going to be doing is we are going to take our thingies, and they are going to go 1, 2, 3 for now. That will do there, and you will go like that. You will go like that. Keep it slow, and that will give us all of the copper items, copper components, copper wires and things, and that will just keep chunking away as long as those have got juice, and once we hook them in full, that will be fine. Now over here, the other components we need are iron frames, iron components and mixed components, and all of these can be made just from ingots. So we're going to be going 1, 2 and 3. However, we also need more of those. That's what we need. I'll have to go and borrow some more components from over here while we wait. That'll do. And up we go. Nope. Let's we'll stick that one there for now. Doesn't really matter, because then we are going to bring that over to there, because this will also need copper as well as iron, and then those will come out into one. No, that's probably not what I need. Oh well, I'm going to need more anyway. That's not a problem. And that will get mechanical components. You know, we'll have. It's a shame there isn't a way to indicate. What's the word I'm looking for here? What's in them? You know, like a sign or something, but there isn't. So, but that's going to basically make me a whole load of basic resources to continue constructing with. But that should be those. Now the question is, is this going to fill up before, or do I need to put a fast? Might need to put a fast. No, where are we? Oh, I've only got one fast inserter. I haven't got the means to make more fast inserters. No, we'll leave it going for now. But I say, I am getting a little bit annoyed at the grind. I mean, that can't make anything for those until these catch up, which is never going to, because that is just basically coming out at the same rate. At least until that is full of copper frames. But that takes 6 ingots to make 2 frames, so we're going to empty the storage down here before that is ever full. That is annoying. I'm not sure. Is the long and short of this particular tirade, I suppose. I just don't know how much more I want to push into this game, because it is taking, I mean, this episode has already taken probably in the region of 10 plus hours gameplay for a temporary game. And I don't put that into some of my Minecraft episodes. I think I am going to have to think long and hard about where we go with this, or whether we just sit there and go, you know, I actually, visually, I love the game. It's bright, it's colourful, I like the puzzles, I like the idea here, but what I don't like is this make me 3,400 Mark II conveyor belts. Why? Why do I need to make you 4,750 iron frames, or 4,750 copper frames, all those belts, or get all of that Atlantium stuff? And it just seems like work for work's sake. You know, I mean, 4,750 frames, you know, it's going to take a long time to make that. And it's going to use 7 stacks of iron and that would be basically almost an entire row of that. I like the premise, the sci-fi notion. I don't like those. I do think they are a terrible way of actually representing research. You know, I am really conflicted. There's bits of this I like. There's no threat. There's no hazard in here. You know, you can't fall, you can't take damage, there's no food, there's no survival element. It is basically a puzzle game. So I'm going to be honest, I genuinely do think that I am not going to be pushing forward with this game. I mean, it has been suggested that Factorio, I think, is the one. Is a better game, and I'm not going to gainsay whether it is or not. I love this idea, I just don't like the progression system. So I think we're going to call this one here, because I've got other things I can be spending time playing that I want to play that are not quite so grindy, and then there's Greg Tech. But no, I have to say it's a pretty game. It is graphically very nice. I've not really encountered any glitches or bugs, but I just find the grind, even if I made machine after machine to power, and you know, I mean, for example, do those drills ever become powered, or do you have to always fuel them? You know, because to me the logical step for something like one of these is you get a better drill that can draw power from your power grid. I mean, I've made a massive power grid. I've got, you know, well, is it massive? I don't know, actually. I've made a big old power grid. You know, we're not coming close to using what we've got. And I don't know, I think the game relies too much on time as a trade-off for progression. So I think I am going to actually leave Techtonica, I want to say Techtopia, but Techtonica here, and set it to one side. I may come back and have a fiddle with it at a later date. You know, the save game will still be there, but I'm just not a fan of this this requirement for such ludicrous, and I mean they are ludicrous levels, because that's only one quest to get the tier 7. You know, there's also a 50 plus 50 high voltage cables, or 220 advanced circuits and 30 cooling systems, or 100 Atlantium ore and 200 cooling systems, or 300 process units and 800 advanced circuits, and the list goes on. And I'm not convinced that when we expose this tech tier, we're not going to have an equally ludicrous level of requirements there, and then there, and nothing in there and there. I mean, what you got? One, I don't even know about that one because it's not even got a name, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unlocks, and this unlock is yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, I've got to say. I'm not a fan of that as a gateway mechanism, and you know, I wanted to push this game further, but I genuinely think it is too much of a drain on my time, which time is a limited resource for me, because obviously this is not my job. My job is actually a real job where I have to go and do work and things. But I've enjoyed it, and we'll see how we go. But I think I think we are saying goodbye to Techtonica. But on that note, thank you very much for watching, guys. Apologies for the negative and ranty end to this, but yeah, I'm just not feeling the love for that progression, and on that basis, I think I'm just going to have to chalk this one up and put a line in it. If this kind of grind and progression system is your bag, then great, but I can't invest that much time into it. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and until next time, thanks. Yeah, and see what we come up with next. But hopefully it will be slightly less grindy. Bye for now.